Hey guys, and welcome to our review of Tokyo Ghoul episode 6. Ignore the title card. I'm your host, the Cinder Blaze, and today we have.
Makotoa.
Oh man, so we just finished this episode, and as you can tell, at least by my enthused voice, this wasn't what I expected. Going into this episode, I expected like the conclusion, or at least to get the fight between Kaneki and the new owl, but we didn't. Like, they did that traditional thing where they start off with it in the cold open and then go to something completely different after the opening, and I'm not sure if that really worked in this episode's favor. What do you think about that?
I thought this was crap. I think the fact that they teased Kaneki coming back last episode was what gets you hyped for this episode, and then like the fact that all throughout this episode you're just waiting for it. They tease it at the beginning, still you're just waiting for it this whole dang episode, and it doesn't happen until the very end of the episode, and by then I think this fight is done. They both fall back, they try to pull the whole opening from season 1 to try and get your feels going. It didn't hit, it didn't feel right. It fell flat. It was garbage. This episode is trash to me because I'm sorry, I'm angry. Like, the rest of this episode could have been fine stuff if they hadn't teased so hard the Kaneki stuff, because it's just all we've wanted since the beginning of this season. Like, we're 6 episodes in. Season 3 is only 12 episodes long. We're halfway through this show, and Kaneki finally manages to break through, or whatever, by the end of this episode. And who knows if we are going to even get, like, a conclusion to this actual fight. It's probably going to be a flashback, and then by the end of that episode, we're going to realize, oh, the fight's over, Kaneki, or whatever his name is already in, like, a hospital bed recovering, and the fight's long gone, and they just flash back to, like, the tail end of it.
Yeah.
Watch that happen, I swear, because it just feels the way this show has been going. I just looked up, by the way, the director for this season. It's a different director than the director for season 1 and 2, and it shows.
Yeah, like, I don't really hate Heisei Sasaki all that much, but from what we've been given this season, we haven't had enough to really bond with the team. They did have like 1 or 2 missions at the very beginning, but like they kind of did feel like fresh to us. And I mean, we haven't read the manga for this. There's no other information coming in for us for the series besides what we've seen in seasons 1 and 2. So these are completely fresh characters. The only one who kind of has something going for him is that person who who's fighting the big name's not Big Mom, but essentially is. Like, he's like really obsessed with himself and his own power, and like I feel like his whole ghoul side is just kind of like fed by that, and there's something possibly interesting there. It wasn't it for this episode because it was just kind of weird, and that whole
fell flat. It still fell flat. Like at the very end when he was wreathing around, it was cool. It was good. It was cool. It was like, dang, like this guy's got issues. And then he stabs the like boy girl. What?
Yeah, the other teammate
the cross-dressing teammate. Yeah, like, why? And then in response, he's like, oh, I'm gonna grow my like friggin' talon thingies that I haven't shown the entire series because I'm inadequate as a character, and now I'm just gonna like hug you with them. Great.
Yeah, that is felt a little bit weird. This is definitely something that I might want to go back into the manga and actually read, because the scenes, it didn't like feel impactful, any of them. The next one we get to is his other 2 subordinates fighting the Nutcracker, and despite some of that fight being like a little bit interesting, there's some strategic aspect to it. We essentially just had a bunch of nobodies fighting a nobody, and that fight was totally inconsequential to anything that was happening.
Also, it's another one of those like cheap teases where it's like, oh, this girl has some potential, like hidden potential. She could be the best of our entire squad. Let me manipulate her into finally using her powers. And then we do, and then we don't get to actually see what she does.
Yeah, like
What
what
the
are you
frick?
actually
Why?
saving that for?
What is this? Yeah. Why? Is this the way the manga went?
I have no
I don't
idea.
know, but like I just don't like this. I don't This whole episode was just a bunch of teases and nothing satisfying.
Yeah. I feel like that type of not reveal but lack of reveal would work a lot better in the manga because this would be probably a chapter 10. Like I'm just assuming that it'd be like a monthly like 30, 40 chapter or not fat chapter page like manga chapter. So the way you would digest it, it would make a little bit more sense. But we're 6 episodes into an anime, and it is already painfully slow. Like we could tell in like the previous fight scenes, like even when Juzo did like show up and fight his mother, which I don't think we had enough build up to actually make that impactful at all. Like
I just got off of season 2 where that Juzo dude like starts becoming a prevalent character,
yeah,
and I didn't feel anything by that.
exactly. Like they have to build it up in this season. You can't just expect us to remember everything from the previous seasons because this isn't like the manga. It's not something like oh, we just have to read back and figure it out. Like this is its own like anime
Oh no,
season.
like yeah, no, I just got fresh off of season 2 and this didn't make me feel anything. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like we
Even
only
if you were fresh off of this, I don't think this would have, like I said, it fell flat as a result. Just a lot of this fell flat to me.
yeah, and I know like this series does have like a lot of like character, like it has a huge cast, and considering that Juzo was a really important part of season 2, you have to at least spend some time with him, like him especially because like all the other new characters that we kind of get introduced to, we don't really care about them all too much, and there's not really much backstory to kind of like create this like really heavy moment or like important moment for a character's life. Like this is Juzo not killing his mother, but like
I just didn't like it. I think it wasn't executed well. That's it. Like this could have been a nice moment. That's what I'm trying to say. Just
yeah, but like this entire season is just like Juzo is having a cameo, and I was just like yeah, and then something actually important happens to him. Just like what? Why?
Yeah. We'll throw that in, even though you want Kaneki. We'll just throw this in and.
Yeah, and once we actually do get to Kaneki, which is probably what every Tokyo Ghoul kind of like fell in love with in the first place, like the way he was kind of tortured and like just
his gut curdling screams.
Yeah,
those were good. That was probably the best part of this episode. Hearing those again, just nostalgia blast me.
Yeah,
but then we didn't even get to see him doing it. It was off screen when he was screaming. Come on.
They probably didn't have the budget to actually animate him screaming, which is also another thing that I'm really disappointed in this entire series. Not series, entire season 4.
Yeah.
Because like in season 1, the animation was like phenomenal. Like they didn't really have to go like too ballsy, not ballsy, but like too extreme with their action scenes because like everyone was kind of like relatively weak as compared to now. But now with like full Kagenes, they're just kind of blah. Yeah. They don't have like the same kind of like speed and intensity that we kind of like fear from the last one. And when we see like Heisei just kind of bouncing around the entire building, like what is there at stake? Like why are you just like wasting my time with this type of stuff? Like go right to the important stuff, the stuff that would like torture like Heisei and kind of force Kaneki to come out. And once we actually get it, like I understand that the Heisei Kaneki like kind of relationship is probably really convoluted, and I think we're gonna get that in the flashback for next week's episode. But like I didn't understand what was going on, and despite how tortured and weird Kaneki is with his personalities,
why was Kaneki's like child form in this like mind area having white hair? He never had white hair when he was a child. Like
I think it's like kind of like personified like how like innocent Kaneki kind of was, and like he's kind of afraid of the monster that he's become himself, and that they're trying to like show us that. But it did kind of come out of nowhere, and when he does kind of like turn into Kaneki at the end of it, which I'm not even sure if he does, because he's just there's no real
it's hard
like
to tell.
Yeah. It just looks like Heisei using his Kagune.
Yeah. They didn't really get I wanted like freaking season 2 Kaneki like bloodlust to show up.
Yeah, like
And
the
just
second
rip
he
that guy to
starts
shreds.
fighting, everyone's kind of
Yeah.
scared. Like he might not have been like the most powerful ghoul. I mean, he was like definitely one of the strongest in season 2, but like considering his backstory and like all the stuff he's been through, when Kaneki fights, he is vicious. He is scary to everyone around him, even if he's weaker than them. But like for this one, just okay, yes, I know he's fighting some kind of like owl level ish type of person,
Ugh,
but like
I don't even want to go there. Like, I think they're giving him this rank and making him out to be more powerful than he really is, and it's like it's just insulting to what Kaneki's was, so that we're when it didn't feel satisfying, and when he got and he got stabbed himself too. So it's like what he's trading with this scrub that just barely became a ghoul himself. Like,
yeah.
okay, sure.
And like I don't really know the specifics of how powerful he is, because that's something that I expect to have later on when we have some of the more when we have the scientists from the ghoul side of things kind of like give that information to us. So I don't really want to know stuff like that. But the one thing that you had to nail this episode was like the thing that would bring out Kaneki. And like when they were kind of like broadcasting his screams, I thought something was like happening. I thought like something internally with Heisei and Kaneki, like some kind of dialogue was happening that was kind of just like freaking him out and just reminding him of all of his past memories. And we are getting some of that next week's episode, because like he's remembering all of his memories, and I don't think that this Heisei will exist in episodes after the next, because like a lot of that has to do with him not knowing anything about his past. I don't think he can really turn away from all that, like he's a very caring person regardless.
Yeah.
But
I swear, dude, like if this next episode is like 90% flashback, and then at the end of the episode they finally get back to the fight, you know how much of a troll that's gonna be?
I don't mind if there's not any of the fight in the next episode. I just wish that backstory is really strong. Like,
yeah,
there's no real point to like really complain about something that's only gonna be like 10% of the episode. If that 90% isn't good, I don't care. If the 10% is like decent. Like, I want the flashback to actually be really important, and like I wanted to have the impact that the rest of the season hasn't had.
Yeah.
So,
would be nice.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts for this week's episode? I know it's kind of like a rambling off there. You probably didn't. Alright. Yeah, like overall we're kind of disappointed, but like this show does have avenues to redeem itself, and hopefully the next episode will be the first of them, because we'll see Kaneki's side of things more rather than Heisei. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Check our description for all of our social media links and the Juicy Discord link as well. Catch you next time. Keep it juicy.
See you later.
And we're out. Ooh.
They played that card at the end of season 2 as well. They played the opening of season 1 card at the end of season 1. They played it at the end of season 2, and now they played it at the middle of season. Really, you're